Hi guys, now some of you asked me to give you some tips on how to grow taller. Well, I made a video about it around 3 years ago when I was still a new YouTuber. And a lot of things changed since then. So it's time to redo that video and give you the best tips I got. Now just very quick, if it's the first time that you're here on my channel, I'm Daniel and welcome to DLM Men's Lifestyle. So if you haven't subscribed yet, please consider it and also click that notification bell so you won't miss any of the next videos. Now, if you want to grow as tall as you can, the first thing you need to know is what determines your height. And second, what are the things that you do, bad habits, that actually cause you or stop you from achieving your full height potential? Well, research shows us that there are basically two things that determines your height. What are they? Genetics, which you got from your family, and environmental factors. These are things like your diet. Now you need to know that you can't do anything about your genetics, and it determines 60 to 80% of your height. But, and this is important, you can do something about the environmental factors. And that determines 20 to 40% of your height. And that's a lot, 20 to 40% of your height. A lot of guys out there in the world are actually shorter than they would have been because they didn't know about the environmental factors that influenced their growth. So, let me give you a few tips on how to increase your height. Number one, have a balanced diet. This is super important. Think about it. If you don't give your body what it needs to grow, you're not going to reach your full height potential. So eat a lot of protein like eggs, poultry, fish, and good dairy products that will help your bones and muscles to grow. And green veggies like spinach and kale also helps you to get more calcium. And then get enough vitamin D. Why? Because vitamin D helps bone and muscle growth. If you don't get enough vitamin D, it can stunt your growth, which is definitely not what you want. So, how do you get more vitamin D? Well, you find it in foods like fish, mushrooms, red meat, egg yolks, liver, and some dairy products like milk. But the best way to get vitamin D is just to get it from the sun. So just go more outside. If you struggle with time, if you gotta work a lot indoors, then you can also try supplements. I'll add it for you in the video description down below so you can check it out. Number two, get enough sleep. Sleep is so important. So it's time to stop playing all the computer games or PlayStation games right through the night. It's time to get some sleep. Did you know that you actually grow more when you sleep? So if you're under 20 and still grow, you can try to get 9 to 11 hours of sleep. If you do, sleep will produce more HGH, which is basically your growth hormone. Number three, just exercise more. Yeah, it's true. If you exercise a lot more in your teenage years, it can increase your height. And the easiest way to do it is just to join a gym or just join a sport team at school that you like. Number four, stop using things that stunt your growth. There are a lot of teenagers that use certain things that stops them from achieving their full height potential. What kind of things? Well, things like drugs and alcohol. They can stunt your growth. And some people believe drinking coffee can also stunt your growth. But that's not true. There's no evidence to back it up. So if you want to have coffee, enjoy it. I love it too. Another thing that can stunt your growth is steroids. This is something, well, just stay away from it. It's just better. Another thing is smoking. Some teens get group pressure and start smoking because they think it's cool. It's not. If you smoke, or if you're exposed to secondhand smoking, it's scientifically proven that it can stunt your growth. And I've said this in a previous video and I'll say it now again. If there are any parents listening to this video, stop smoking in front of your kids. It's just plain bad parenting. Now, is it possible to grow taller after 18? Well, for most people, listen very carefully, for most people, it's not gonna happen. Most people stop growing between the ages of 18 and 21, some even 22. Why do they stop growing? Well, it's because of your growth plates in your bones. Basically, your growth plates start to close at the end of puberty. That's just how we were created. It's basically your hormonal changes that stops or hardens your growth plates. Now, is there anything that you can do if you're unhappy with your height after 20 years? Well, there's a few products that you can try, like Growth Boom Pro or Growth Sinorama WMX. But to be honest here, I just don't think it will work. I did some research, I looked into it 3 years ago, I did it again. I just don't trust it. For me, there's no evidence that it will work. Now, some people also try GH treatments, growth hormone treatments. And it does work with children, but it doesn't really work with adults. You can check it out and do your own research. Then there's also surgery, also known as limb lengthening surgery, where they do several surgeries to lengthen your legs and tendons in the legs. Now, I'm not a fan of this either because, well, it costs money and there's a couple of side effects as well. There are risks. Here are some of the risks. With the surgery, there are risks with bleeding, infections, and anesthesia. And there's a risk that the surgery won't work if your bones don't heal properly. Other risks include non-union, leg length discrepancy, nerve stretch injury, tendon contracture leading to stiff joints, and joint arthritis. And you need to know that it can take up to 1 or 2 years for you to recover. I'm just not a fan of it at all, but you can take some time, do your own research into it if you want to try it out. Now, apart from these things, there are a few things that you can do to make yourself look more taller. Number 1 is improve your posture. All you gotta do to just look taller is to improve your posture, because if you don't, you look shorter than you actually are. So all you gotta do is stand up straight, pull your head up, look straight forward, your shoulders back, and if you got a belly, pull it in. Now, some people believe that you can grow taller by just doing stretching exercises. But does it actually work? Well, no. If you stretch and strengthen your back, core, and your whole body, it helps you to maintain good posture, and then you automatically look taller. If you stretch and do hanging exercises, it can reverse the compression of your spine, making you slightly taller, but only until it compresses again. So you don't really grow taller at all. All that happens is your back over time kind of compresses, and then you do hanging and stretching exercise and then it straightens up again, right? But then after a while, it goes back to its original position. You don't grow taller. Number 2, you can wear shoes with inserts in them and also with higher soles. That will add a few centimeters and you will look taller. Number 3, gain more muscle. This helps a lot of people to feel better about themselves. If you're short and skinny, a lot of people don't like it, right? They don't feel good enough about themselves. So if you go and you work out, then you automatically feel a little bit better about yourself because then you're a little bit bigger and stronger. So then you might gain more confidence in the way that you look. Number 4, style your hair up. It sounds silly, but you'll actually look a few centimeters taller than you actually are. Now, let me give you some honest advice. Try to find a way to accept the way that you are. Try to accept your height. That's a lot better compared to trying all these extreme measures just to increase your height. Instead of being obsessed with your height, start to focus on your other strengths. Build that out more. Focus on it. Become more who you really are. God made you the way you are for a reason. You are unique. You are made in His image. Listen, there's a lot of things in this world that you won't be able to control. You can't do anything about it. But you can change the way you think about it and how you react to it. Let me give you something that will help. As a tall person, it's not fun. It's not great being tall all the time. It's not fun hitting your head against things. Maybe for other people, because you're tall. But it's not fun not to have space for your legs in a car or in a plane. Or your feet getting cold when it hangs over the bed. And it's not fun always needing to bend down to see yourself in a mirror. I can go on the whole day. But at the end, you gotta make peace with your own body. Accept who you are, because that is who you are. You are unique. There's no one out there like you in the whole world. Short or tall, we are all different, we're all unique, and there's a reason for it. Own it. Don't be shy because you're a little bit shorter than other people. Don't be shy because you're a little bit taller than other people. It's who you are. Now remember, life is short, so don't waste yours. I'll see you guys in the next video. Cheers.